The Bert Show.
All right, we're gonna test it out and see. Bert, are you there?
He says he can't hear us.
Okay.
We're trying to figure it out.
All right.
Halfway there.
Everything was fine right before the show. Then we started the show and all hell breaks loose.
Yep, that's how it goes. All right, so Mo, try to explain this if you can. The company is firing employees who don't have COVID and aren't vaccinated, but they aren't firing people who do have COVID and are vaccinated.
Yeah, obviously it sounds a bit insane, and so a lot of people had heavy reactions to this story. It is a Fox News story that went extremely viral after rapper T.I. posted it on his page, but basically they are trying to justify what they believe is a rational decision, which is to basically fire all of their employees who are not vaccinated but don't have COVID, but then keep the employees who do have COVID and are vaccinated, because in their minds, once you catch COVID, and you're done with it, you're good for 90 days or so, and so they just rather get it all over with. It's kind of their thinking. It's an odd way of thinking, but here's a clip describing what's really going on.
That means, Sandra, that essentially we fired folks that don't have COVID but that have not got a vaccination, and we are bringing back to work people with COVID but who have got a vaccination. To you.
Hold on, that's an unbelievable moment in this pandemic, Jeff. So how are they justifying firing unvaccinated workers who don't have COVID, but then they're using those who are testing positive, but they're vaccinated?
Well, you may not agree with it, but here's the thinking. The thinking is that the earlier you are into having gotten the virus, the more likely you are to shed it.
Okay, I guess that's the end of the clip. Okay, so what I'm thinking is they're, from a company protecting itself, if you're unvaccinated and you get it, your likelihood of getting more sick and your likelihood of being hospitalized is greater than those who are vaccinated. I mean, as somebody who is vaccinated and got it, I was very fortunate and I was asymptomatic. So I literally had no symptoms. I think I sneezed twice. So I'm wondering if the company is just trying to protect itself from, like, hey, if you're vaccinated and you get it, then it's not as bad. But if you come in and you're not vaccinated and you get it, you could potentially cause yourself great harm.
That does make sense to me, and that's kind of how I saw it too. It's just weird that now that people are coming back into work, they almost want you to have COVID to bring you back, as opposed to just waiting until you no longer have it.
Well, let's clarify, because nobody's coming into work with COVID. People are coming into work who had COVID. Are they saying they're actually bringing in people who actively have COVID to spread it?
That's what it sounded like the guy said to me, because he wants them to spread it and to get it out the way so that they can move on now.
Okay, that's idiotic.
That's what I thought.
that sounds stupid to me, Davi.
Isn't there a whole push for herd immunity? Is that what they're trying to do? I mean, I know that's a constant discussion on Fox News. So is that why they're touching base on this story?
Cassie?
I have a feeling it's because the employees being brought back have been either exposed or they have positive COVID-19 tests, but they're asymptomatic. And, when you're asymptomatic, you don't shed as much, you don't have much viral load, so you don't shed as much and spread it as much. I still disagree, and I think it's idiotic. But I think because there's such a shortage on healthcare staffers that they're like, okay, well, it's a minimal risk that you're going to spread it. I'm guessing that's the thinking behind it. So you're not coming in coughing and sneezing and actively oh, I'm super sick, but you do have the virus. And yes, I still think that's dumb.
Yeah. I love you guys, and I tested positive, so I stayed away, even though I was asymptomatic. And, lucky us, we were on vacation. So I got to spend my vacation with COVID rather than, work from home with COVID. And everything is constantly changing. It's ever evolving. And, I know a lot of people are making fun of the CDC because of new protocols, et cetera. But this is a first that I've heard somebody, a company saying, okay, yeah, you got COVID and you're asymptomatic, go ahead and come on in. That just, for some reason, doesn't sound very smart.
Yeah, I don't know how you justify that one. Just come out and just spread it and get it over with so we can move on. Sounds a little bit crazy.
Yep, not in the least bit.
The Bert Show.